Hey everybody, Bridget here. So at the end of January was my birthday and I received a couple gift cards for the bookstore and I went ahead and pre-ordered a bunch of books that were coming out this week. Then after ordering stuff online, I also went to the bookstore today just because I was off and bored, so I thought, why not spend some money? So I have 16 books to show you all today. A lot of them I'm really excited for and I cannot wait to show you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. The first one is Requiem by Lauren Oliver. This is book 3 in the Delirium trilogy. I was waiting for this to come out in paperback before I collected it because I have the other two in paperback. So now I have a completed trilogy in matching paperback covers, and now that I have it, perhaps sometime soon here I will marathon read the entire trilogy. We will see, but I'm very excited to have this added to my collection. The next book I have here is The Paladin Prophecy by Mark Frost. This book is about a boy named Will who tries his hardest to hide some natural talent and abilities that he has, but he takes a test though and kind of accidentally shows off, I guess you could say. So he gets courted by an exclusive prep school and he goes to the school and learns more about his natural abilities, and then of course some struggle between good and evil happens, and it just sounds really cool. And the sequel for it recently came out, so I really want to check it out. And it's a pretty decently sized book and the ratings on Goodreads are pretty good, so I thought I would check it out. Next one I have here is The Queen's Choice by Kayla Kluver. This is book 1 in the Heirs of Cryor trilogy. I'm gonna say Cryor trilogy. This is about a girl named Anya whose aunt is the Queen of the Fairies. She finds out that her aunt is dying and that her cousin, who's supposed to take over afterwards, is not exactly fit to take over the kingdom. So she goes on an adventure to find a lost prince who has apparently gone missing into the human world. So it's about her struggles of finding him. And I don't read too many books with fairies in them, so I'm not one for a fairy story. I've tried a couple different ones. They haven't caught my attention, but I absolutely love this cover. I hate when I do cover buys because I never know whether the actual book's gonna be good or not, but this is such a beautiful cover and I needed to have it on my shelf, so yeah. The next one is also another YA fantasy, and it is Defy by Sarah B. Larson. This one sounded pretty good. It kind of sounds like it's gonna be a little bit of a cliche love triangle going on here. It's about a girl named Alexa who under certain circumstances has to hide as a boy in the King's Guard, and she one day gets kidnapped along with another guardsman and the prince, and it's about their struggles of getting away and you know, fighting evil for the good of the kingdom, stuff like that. So really into the fantasy right now, as I've mentioned in many previous videos, so I thought I would check this out. It's pretty short. I've already started reading it, but I kind of stopped when a couple of these other books came in. I kind of want to read those first, so I paused it for a little bit, but I will go back to it. It was pretty decent so far, but I only made it like 5 chapters in, but we'll see. This next book is one I've never heard of, but I saw it on the shelf when I was at the bookstore and thought it sounded pretty interesting, so I decided to try it out. And that book is Scintillate. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it is by Tracy Clark. This is the first book in the Light Key trilogy. This is about a girl named Cora whose mother went missing when they were living in Ireland when she was 5 years old. Her and her father moved to America, and she's drawn to a boy named Finn who's actually from Ireland, and they start falling in love. And when Finn's mother finds out that he's falling in love with a girl over there, she makes him come home, and despite her father's objections, she follows him to Ireland and goes searching for her missing mother. And another weird thing about this is that Cora can see people's auras. So she goes to Ireland and she meets a person who has a different colored aura than everybody else and discovers that it's part of some long ongoing conspiracy thing, and she has to find out the mystery and blah blah blah. And it sounds pretty interesting, and I haven't really seen too many books that are set in Ireland, so I thought that was pretty cool. And I really like this cover as well, so it's very pretty. and it's got pretty high ratings, like 4 point something stars on Goodreads, so I thought I would check it out. The next couple books I have here are from the used bookstore, and the first one is one that I've seen many times on Reagan's channel, and I just thought I'd check it out. It was $5, and that is The Del Toro Quest by Emily Rhoda. This is a bind-up of 4 books. I don't know if that's all the books in the series or if there's more than that, but it is the first 4. And like I said, it was $5 for this at the used bookstore, so I figured why not try it out. I've heard pretty decent things from Reagan. I think she's the one that I heard this from. Usually a lot of the fantasy recommendations I actually get from her, so there's this one. And then the next one that I got is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is the first book in the Foreseer trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. I picked this up because Reagan, in one of her videos, was talking about the NPR's Top 100 Sci-Fi and Fantasy list, and I checked out that list, and I really want to read like almost all the books on that entire list. I'm going out and trying to collect all of them, and this is one of them on there. Really don't like this cover, but what are you gonna do? High fantasy covers aren't the best out there. So gonna check this out, very excited. Another one on the NPR's list that I've been meaning to read for the longest time is The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. This is just a very well-known fantasy book out there, and I've just been meaning to get my hands on it and read it. I'm thinking of pushing this into either this month or March, but definitely this one's gonna be read very soon. Another fantasy I've been meaning to read, and almost all of these in here are fantasy or dystopian, so just pre-warning you about that, is A Wizard of Earthsea, which is book 1 in the Earthsea series. I think it's a series of 6 books by Ursula K. Le Guin. There's another book that this author is really well known for, and I forget what it's called, but I figured I'd try this one, and it looks like a very easy read, and if I like it, then I can get the other 5 books, so we will see. And this next one I haven't started the series for, but I went ahead and got the second book, and that is The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. This is book 2 in the Kingkiller Chronicle. This one's humongous compared to the first book, but I cannot wait. I am loving the big, huge, epic fantasy books lately, so cannot wait to get to this, and I'm excited that I have the second book for when I get into this series. Next one I actually bought the whole trilogy for, but for some reason instead of packaging them together, Amazon is sending me like one at a time, even though I got it from the same place off of Amazon, but whatever. As long as they give me them in order. Like if they gave me the 3rd book first and then the 2nd book and then the 1st, then I'd be a little bit more upset. But they did give me the 1st book to this trilogy, and it is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 1 in the Mistborn trilogy. Yes! My awesome cover copy came. I'm so excited. I think everybody agrees that the UK covers for this trilogy is so much better looking than the American stupid mass paperback covers. So I am so excited to have this, and I cannot wait to read it. I really want to make this month, but I've already made up my TBR for February, so I'll have to put this into March TBR. So I can't wait though. I'm excited. The next one I have here is another adult fantasy, and it is Vicious by V.E. Schwab, or Victoria Schwab. She is the author of the Archived series. This book is about 2 roommates, Victor and Eli. While roommating together, they kind of discover a theory of people who kind of get superhuman abilities when they're under fight or flight type of situations, and they end up getting superpowers, and something happens where they become enemies, and it's kind of a battle between the 2 characters, and I've heard so many good things about this book, and look at this cover, it is just gorgeous. Speaking of Victoria Schwab, the next book is The Unbound by Victoria Schwab, which is book 2 in the Archived series. I don't know how many books these are. I've seen a bunch of booktubers do, I think it's like the Archive should have a 3rd book. I guess the author's having issues with getting a 3rd book published. So I'm not sure how many books there's supposed to be, but I'm guessing there's only 2 right now. Anyways, I haven't started this series, but it sounds super cool, and as always, the covers are gorgeous. You know me and my covers, so I had to get it. And then these last 3 books are some of my most anticipated releases for this year. The first one is Into the Still Blue by Veronica Rossi. I actually have only read the first book in this trilogy, but I was still really excited to get the rest of the trilogy because now I can kind of marathon read it. When I read the first one, it was during a time that I don't think I was in the mood for it, so I didn't really get into it as much as I wanted to, and I thought the book was okay, but I think I want to reread it again because now I kind of feel like reading a dystopian, so now that I have all 3 of them, I can kind of marathon the trilogy, and I'm sure I'm going to love it because a lot of people are saying the 3rd book is the best out of all 3 of them, so cannot wait. So we have that one. Next one we have here is Cress by Marissa Mayer. I'm so excited for this one, and the cover, it's so gorgeous. Surprisingly enough, I've actually only read Cinder, and it was when the book first came out, like I want to say like 2 years ago. I don't even remember what it's about. I really need to reread it and then just do like a marathon read of the 3 books. While I was at the bookstore purchasing this, the girl at the counter actually told me that Marissa Mayer is actually going to be doing book signings at the bookstore on the 18th of February, so I will be going to that, and I cannot wait. Can I bring all 3 books to be signed? Can I? I will actually be pushing reading these books to this month because she's coming on the 18th, so I really need to quickly read all of them very soon so that I will be up to date with her books when I go and see her. I'm so excited! And then I think everybody knows what this last one is, and when it came in the mail last night, I was working and then I was surprised, not in a good way, while at work, because apparently we scheduled a floor cleaning at my work to like re-wax the floor, and I didn't know, which requires me to stay after hours till like midnight. I was there till maybe 11:30 at night, even though I typically only work till like 9 o'clock. So that was not fun because this little puppy was sitting at home waiting for me to come home and read, and by the time I got home I was so dead tired I couldn't start it till this morning. Anyways, I'm rambling. Without further ado, it is Ignite Me by Tara Mafi. This is the 3rd book in the Shatter Me trilogy, and now I have all 3! Now tell me, now that all of them are out, are they going to come out with a hardcover copy of the new cover of Shatter Me? Because seriously, this is not working for me, and I cannot stand having the first one be a paperback and the second 2 being a hardcover if I were to go get the new cover for this one. So it's really bugging me. It really is. It's getting to the point where if they come out with like a box set of all of them in hardcover and it has the new cover in hardback in it, I will actually go and repurchase the entire trilogy because it bothers me that much. It really does. And I don't really want to have to spend the money on buying the same books over again because that would just be pointless. So really, can we get the hardcover for the newer one, please? So that is my book haul, you all. I am super excited for like all of these books. Really, I cannot wait. I don't even know. I don't even know where to start after I read Ignite Me. I don't even know. Do I start with this series, or do I read this series, or do I do the Harry Potter thing if it's still within the week's time? I'm at a loss here. You guys tell me. And then I'm actually in the middle of reading Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo, which is the 2nd book in the Grisha trilogy. So I want to finish that. I paused on reading A Dance with Dragons because I really don't want to be done with the books, and I kind of thought of that a little bit too late. I read, excuse me. Anyways, that was my book haul, you all. I'm super excited. I know I said I'm super excited way too many times in this video, but I'm super excited for every one of these books, and I don't even know where to go from after I read Ignite Me. There are just too many books that I could read right now, but I cannot wait, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!